Letting go is one of the hardest things we can do, especially when it comes to someone we care deeply about. But here's the truth you need to hear. Letting go is not about losing. It's not about defeat or failure. It's about choosing something far greater, your own peace. When you hold on to someone who isn't fully there, who doesn't show up for you the way you deserve, you're actually giving away your power. You're trading your peace for uncertainty, your happiness for anxiety, and your self-respect for moments of doubt. Imagine carrying a heavy bag that's full of things that don't belong to you, things that weigh you down and make it harder to walk your path. That bag is the burden of holding on when it's time to release. The longer you carry it, the more it drains your energy, your joy, and your confidence. But when you decide to put that bag down, even if it's painful at first, you create space in your life for healing, for growth, and for new opportunities that actually serve you. People often confuse letting go with giving up, but they are completely different. Giving up means quitting on yourself, losing hope. Letting go means you're choosing to respect yourself enough to stop chasing what isn't meant to be. It means recognizing that some people, no matter how much you love them, cannot be what you need them to be, and that's okay. It doesn't make you weak or unloving. It makes you wise and strong. When you choose peace over pain, you begin to rewrite your story. Instead of waiting anxiously for calls or messages that never come, you start focusing on your own growth, your own happiness. Instead of holding on to someone's absence, you hold on to your dignity and your self-worth. And that shift, it changes everything. You stop being defined by someone else's inconsistency and start defining yourself by your own strength. Letting go is an act of courage. It's a decision to love yourself enough to walk away from what drains you and toward what empowers you. It's about saying, I deserve better, not just as a passing thought, but as a deep truth that guides your every step. When you finally let go, you aren't just freeing yourself from someone else, you're freeing yourself to become who you were always meant to be. So don't fear letting go. Don't think it means you failed or lost. Understand that in letting go, you are winning your freedom. You are choosing peace. And sometimes peace is the greatest victory of all. When you decide to release someone who doesn't value you, something incredible happens. You reclaim your power and your self-worth. It might not feel like it at first, because letting go often feels like stepping into the unknown. But that step is one of the most powerful moves you can make for yourself. When you hold on to someone who constantly shows you that you're not a priority, you're actually giving away your power piece by piece. You're handing over your confidence, your peace, and your sense of value to someone who doesn't even recognize it. Think about this. Every moment you spend waiting for someone who doesn't appreciate you is a moment you lose in building your own life. You lose time, energy, and joy, all because you're tied to someone who's not tied to you. That's not love. That's a kind of self-neglect. But when you make the choice to let go, even though it's painful, you're saying to yourself, I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of love that's consistent, that's genuine. You reclaim your narrative. You take back control over your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately your future. Self-worth isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you own. And by holding on to someone who doesn't value you, you risk allowing their actions or lack of actions to define your worth. But your value is not measured by their attention or absence. Your value is inherent, unshakable, and it shines brightest when you stop waiting for external validation. The moment you realize that, you begin to live from a place of power, not desperation. When you reclaim your power, you stop playing the victim in your own story. You stop hoping for things that won't come and start building the life you deserve. You recognize that your peace is your priority, and you refuse to settle for less than respect and consistency. That's not selfish. That's necessary. It's the foundation of every successful relationship, every meaningful connection, and every fulfilled life. Letting go isn't about bitterness or resentment. It's about clarity. It's about understanding that someone who doesn't see your worth isn't the right person to hold your heart. When you make that clear decision, you invite better energy, better people, and better opportunities into your life. And more importantly, you rebuild yourself from the inside out. Reclaiming your power through letting go is not just a moment, it's a movement towards self-love, dignity, and strength. It's a declaration that you won't settle for anything less than what you deserve. And the more you stand firm in that truth, the more you grow into the person you were always meant to be. So remember this: when you release those who don't value you, you are not losing, you are winning your freedom, your power, and your life. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the freedom to realize what they had all along. It's a hard truth, but one that holds immense power. When you hold on tightly to someone who doesn't appreciate you, you might think you're helping them, keeping the connection alive, but in reality, you're often keeping them from understanding the true value of what they're about to lose. Freedom, in this sense, is a powerful teacher. It allows people to face their own hearts and confront the reality of their choices. When you let go, you stop doing all the work of holding the relationship together alone. You stop bending over backwards, changing yourself, or making excuses for someone else's absence or silence. You create a space where they can either step up or step out. Sometimes people don't realize what they had because they've never been truly challenged to see it. You being present all the time, available whenever, can create comfort in complacency. But once you step back, once you remove yourself from the constant availability, they have no choice but to reflect. And reflection can be painful, but it's necessary. When someone finally confronts what they're missing, when they face the silence you've given them, it's a wake-up call. It forces them to ask themselves, did I treat this right? Did I value this person enough? Did I take them for granted? That moment of clarity, that realization is priceless. It's often only through your absence that they truly understand your worth. But here's the thing. This gift of freedom is not for their benefit alone. It's for yours too. By letting go, you're also freeing yourself from the chains of frustration, disappointment, and unreciprocated effort. You're choosing your own peace over the pain of being undervalued. You're saying to yourself, I deserve better. I deserve to be with someone who sees me as the gift I am. And when you live from that truth, you become unstoppable. So don't fear giving this gift. Don't think letting go means you don't care. It means you care enough to let the universe take its course. Sometimes the only way to show someone their value is to give them the space to realize it themselves. And in that space, in that silence, you're not just stepping away, you're stepping into your own power and peace. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. Holding on to someone who won't commit only delays your own breakthrough. This is a hard truth many people resist because we often confuse love with attachment and attachment with security. But when the person you care about refuses to step fully into your life, refuses to show up consistently, it's not just their loss, it's a barrier to your own growth. Every moment spent hoping, waiting, or trying to make them commit is a moment stolen from your breakthrough. The moment when you move forward, rise higher, and truly become your best self. You see, growth demands space. Growth demands freedom. When you cling to someone who refuses to fully commit, you keep yourself trapped in a cycle of emotional uncertainty. You're caught in the limbo of what ifs and maybes. This emotional limbo isn't just exhausting, it's paralyzing. It clouds your judgment, drains your energy, and prevents you from focusing on the parts of your life that can actually flourish. Your breakthrough, whether in career, peace of mind, or self-love, is waiting for you on the other side of letting go. Think about it like this. Breakthrough is a door that opens only when you stop banging on the wrong one, when you stop chasing what isn't meant for you, you allow the right doors to open naturally. But if you're still stuck trying to force commitment from someone who isn't ready or willing, you're standing in front of a locked door, refusing to move, refusing to see the opportunities waiting elsewhere. Your breakthrough is not in convincing someone to commit. It's in committing to yourself, to your own path, to your own growth. This is where true freedom lies. Freedom to grow, freedom to explore your potential, freedom to find happiness that is not dependent on someone else's uncertain presence. When you let go, you step out of the shadow of someone else's indecision and into the light of your own power. You take back control of your life. You stop waiting for a breakthrough and start creating it. And remember, breakthroughs often come disguised as endings. When one door closes, it's not just a loss. It's a sign that something better is on the horizon. Your breakthrough is waiting for you in that space of release and renewal. When you stop waiting for someone else to commit, you commit fully to your own greatness. Don't let your breakthrough be delayed by someone else's hesitation. Your time is precious. Your future is bright. Step into your power and watch how life rewards your courage to let go. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. Sometimes the most profound way to show love is by stepping away, not out of anger, not out of spite, but out of respect for yourself and the other person. When you let go, it's not because you stopped caring. It's because you finally care enough to stop compromising your own peace for the sake of someone who isn't fully present. Love, true love, is never about holding on so tight that it suffocates. It's about knowing when to give space, to allow growth, and to honor the natural flow of life and relationships. Letting go is an act of courage. It means you have looked deeply at the situation and realized that staying doesn't serve either of you anymore. It's painful, yes, but necessary. Holding on to someone who doesn't show up consistently is like watering a dead plant. You can't force growth where there is none. But by stepping back, you give both yourself and them room to breathe, to reflect, and to realize what they truly want and need. When you choose to let go, you're also protecting your heart from the slow erosion that comes from neglect, disappointment, and unfulfilled expectations. You're drawing a line, saying, I deserve love that lifts me up, not love that drags me down. And by doing so, you create the space for new, healthier connections to come in. This isn't just about romantic love. It's about loving yourself enough to refuse anything less than what nourishes your soul. There's also a powerful lesson in patience here. Sometimes people need time and distance to understand the depth of what they had. When you're always there, always available, it's easy to take that for granted. But when you step away, that absence can become the mirror they need to see their own shortcomings. This space can awaken a new level of appreciation, respect, and sometimes regret in the other person. But that's not your responsibility to manage. Your responsibility is to honor yourself first. Letting go is an act of faith, not just faith in the other person's potential to change or grow, but faith in yourself, in your ability to heal, to move forward, and to attract what is truly meant for you. It's trusting that the universe has a plan bigger than your current pain. And when you embrace that trust, you start to live from a place of peace, strength, and clarity. You must remember, love is never about holding on tightly. It's about knowing when to release. And in that release, you find freedom, dignity, and the space to become the person you're meant to be. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. There is a unique strength that comes from walking away when it's clear that staying no longer serves you. It's not weakness or failure. It's courage and wisdom wrapped into one decisive act. Many people confuse letting go with giving up, but the truth is, letting go is about taking control, taking control of your emotions, your energy, and ultimately your life. When someone doesn't value your presence, your time, or your love, holding on only keeps you trapped in a cycle of pain and confusion. Walking away is the first step toward reclaiming your power and setting yourself free. Think about how much energy you spend waiting, hoping, and trying to fix something that might never change. It drains you, leaves you exhausted, and blinds you to new possibilities. When you make the choice to walk away, you're choosing yourself. You're saying that your happiness and peace matter more than someone else's indecision or neglect. This is not selfishness. It is self-respect. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to put yourself first so you can be whole, strong, and ready for the love and respect you truly deserve. Walking away also sends a powerful message, not just to the person you're leaving behind, but to the world, and most importantly to yourself. It tells everyone watching that you have standards, that you will not settle for less than what you are worth. This kind of strength is magnetic. It draws the right people toward you and pushes away those who aren't aligned with your values. Sometimes walking away isn't just about losing something. It's about making room for something better, something healthier, something real. There is also a healing that begins the moment you step away. When you remove yourself from the toxic environment of neglect or uncertainty, you allow your heart and mind the space to recover. You begin to see things clearly without the fog of emotional turmoil. You gain perspective and the ability to make better choices for your future. This healing is essential because without it, you risk carrying old wounds into new relationships, repeating the same patterns of pain. You might fear walking away because you worry about being alone or starting over. But being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means you're with yourself, your true self. And that is where real growth happens. In that space, you learn to love yourself fiercely, to trust your own voice, and to build a life that doesn't depend on someone else's approval or attention. Walking away is a bold declaration that your life is your responsibility and that you will not waste another moment on anything less than extraordinary. So when the time comes, don't hesitate. Don't fear what others might say or think. Your peace, your happiness, your self-worth, they are worth more than any temporary discomfort. Walking away is not the end. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you write your own story with courage and grace. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. There's a quiet power in choosing yourself over someone who consistently lets you down. It's easy to get caught up in the cycle of waiting for calls, messages, or signs that may never come. But deep down, you know that your worth isn't measured by someone else's attention or presence. When he doesn't reach out, it speaks volumes, not just about where he is in his life, but about where you need to be in yours. This silence, though painful, can be a powerful signal, urging you to stop seeking validation from outside and start finding it within. You see, when you wait for someone who isn't there, you give them power over your emotions and your happiness. You become dependent on their actions, their moods, their choices. And in that dependency, you lose yourself. But when you choose to put yourself first, when you stop waiting for that call or message, you reclaim your freedom. You stop living in the shadow of someone else's inconsistency and start shining in your own light. This shift is transformative. It turns your pain into strength and your confusion into clarity. This is about more than just communication. It's about respect. When someone truly values you, they make the effort to stay connected. They show up not just physically, but emotionally. If he's silent for a long time, it's a sign that he might not be ready to give you the respect and attention you deserve. And that's not your problem to fix. It's a reflection of his own state, not your worth. Recognizing this frees you from the false hope that keeps you stuck. Choosing yourself means understanding that you don't have to chase anyone's affection. You don't have to beg for attention or proof of love. Love that's real is effortless and consistent. It's not about chasing. It's about mutual respect and presence. When you finally realize this, you'll no longer tolerate half-hearted efforts or silence that breaks your spirit. You'll set standards for how you want to be treated, and you'll hold firm to them. There's also a lesson in patience and timing here. Sometimes silence is the universe's way of telling you to slow down and look inward. It's a chance to heal, to grow, and to prepare yourself for someone who truly deserves you. Use this time wisely. Invest in your dreams, your passions, and your happiness. Build a life so full and rich that when he does come back, it's because you seized the incredible person you've become, not because you begged for his attention. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting for yourself to be ready, for your heart to be whole, for your soul to be at peace. And when that time comes, you won't just be someone waiting for a message. You'll be someone who knows their worth, and he'll recognize it too. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. Sometimes the silence we experience when someone doesn't call or message for a long time is not about indifference or forgetfulness. It's about them needing to grow and change on their own. We often forget that everyone is on their own journey, dealing with battles we don't see, challenges they don't share. When he steps back and becomes distant, it might be because he's facing his own struggles, trying to find clarity or heal wounds that run deep. It's not about you personally, it's about his own process. And understanding this is crucial for your peace of mind. You might feel abandoned or confused during these long periods of silence, but this is an opportunity to practice empathy and patience, not to hold on to pain. People aren't always ready to be what we need them to be right now. Sometimes they need space to become better versions of themselves. This silence can be a sign that he's working on himself. Maybe he's learning lessons that he couldn't learn while you were both too close. Maybe he's growing in ways that will eventually make him more capable of loving fully. If you rush him or push for answers, you might actually interrupt a necessary part of his growth. At the same time, this is a moment for you to focus on your own growth. While he's working through his own challenges, you should be doing the same. Don't waste your energy waiting for him to be ready. Invest in yourself, your goals, your dreams, your happiness. Life moves forward whether we wait or not. By focusing on your personal development, you create a foundation that no silence can shake. You become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This is how you prepare for the relationship you truly deserve. This period of waiting is also a test of your strength and your self-worth. It asks you to believe in something beyond the immediate, beyond the texts and calls. It calls you to trust that everything happening now, no matter how unclear or painful, has a purpose. It's teaching you patience, teaching you to stand firm even when you don't understand. And this strength will become your greatest asset, not just in relationships, but in every area of your life. It's easy to feel hurt and take silence personally, but remember, true connection is built on respect, honesty, and readiness. Sometimes people aren't ready because they need to face their own inner battles first. This doesn't mean they don't care. It means they're human. And while they do their work, you must do yours. Keep your heart open, but don't make yourself available to pain. Protect your peace, guard your happiness, and stay committed to your growth. When he finally comes back, if he does, it will be because he's been transformed. But even if he doesn't, you will have transformed into someone who no longer needs validation from silence or waiting. You will have become someone who understands that sometimes letting go is the greatest act of love for him, but most importantly, for yourself. One day, he'll thank you for letting go. When he doesn't call or message for a long time, it often means he's realizing what life feels like without you. And that realization can be a powerful catalyst for growth and clarity. Sometimes, absence is the only way people truly see the value of what they had and what they let slip through their fingers. It's not that he forgot or stopped caring. It's that he's beginning to understand what your presence meant in ways he never fully appreciated before. This kind of silence can be deafening. It forces him to confront feelings and thoughts he may have avoided while you were around. Without the comfort of constant connection, he is left alone with his reflections, and this can awaken a deeper sense of responsibility, maturity, and awareness. It's in this quiet space that many people start to realize the importance of what they once took for granted. When you're no longer there, the things that seemed small before suddenly become monumental. What this teaches you is patience and self-respect. You don't rush this process, and you don't beg for recognition. Instead, you allow space for growth to happen naturally. Your absence is not a punishment. It's an invitation for him to see clearly, to think deeply, and to decide what he truly wants moving forward. And while he's on that journey, you continue to live your life fully, knowing that your worth is never diminished by silence. This is also a moment for you to evaluate what you want and deserve. Realizing that he's starting to feel the weight of your absence should never be an excuse to go back to a situation that didn't serve your growth or peace. It should be a reminder that true love and respect come with effort and consistency. If he returns, it must be because he is ready to meet you as your equal, ready to give you the attention and care you deserve, not because of guilt or convenience. The power in this silence is that it gives both of you clarity. It separates what was temporary from what is real. It reveals who is willing to grow and who is content to stay where they are. And sometimes the most profound gratitude comes not immediately, but after time has passed, after lessons have been learned and hearts have healed. One day he'll look back and understand how much you meant, and he'll thank you for letting go. This waiting is never wasted when it's filled with self-love and growth. You are not just a chapter in someone's life, you are the author of your own story. And sometimes stepping back and letting go is the most powerful way to rewrite the narrative. One day he'll thank you for letting go. Sometimes when he doesn't call or message for a long time, it means he's learning a lesson that only time and distance can teach. A lesson about respect, about the value of your presence, and about what it truly means to appreciate someone who cared deeply. This kind of silence isn't just about ignoring or forgetting. It's about realizing what was lost and understanding the consequences of actions taken or words left unsaid. This lesson is often harsh and comes wrapped in silence because confrontation is difficult. When people don't communicate, they're sometimes grappling with their own feelings of regret, pride, or confusion. He might be trying to understand why things fell apart or why he took you for granted. This internal struggle is invisible to you, but it's real and powerful, and it's a sign that growth is happening, even if it's painful. You don't need to be present for him to learn this lesson. In fact, your absence makes the message clearer and harder to ignore. When you step away, you give him the space to reflect on the ways he treated you, the moments he missed, and the love he didn't nurture. It's in this space that respect can be rebuilt, not through words, but through a deeper understanding born from experience. For you, this time is sacred. It's not just about waiting or hoping. It's about standing firm in your worth and dignity. You've chosen to honor yourself by not settling for less than you deserve. You've chosen to let go of what no longer serves your peace, and in doing so, you protect your heart from unnecessary pain. This is your power, knowing when to hold on and when to release. When he comes back with a changed heart, it will be because he's learned this lesson. It won't be about desperation or empty apologies. It will be about genuine respect and a desire to build something real and lasting. And if he doesn't come back, that's okay too, because you have grown beyond needing validation from someone who couldn't see your value before. The truth is, sometimes people have to lose what they love to realize how much it meant to them. And through that loss, they gain a wisdom that only experience can give. But you don't have to wait in pain or confusion. You move forward with your head held high, knowing that your love and respect are worth waiting for. One day he'll thank you for letting go.